Hi, so my name is Sam. I'm a yoga instructor, life coach, and human being. So today's sequence is perfect for those who are experiencing some anxiety right now. And usually, when we feel anxious, it's because we're thinking about something going on in the future, dwelling on something in the past, or just really uncomfortable with uncertainty. So today's sequence will revolve around the things that we can control instead of focusing on what we can't control or what we're uncertain of. And what we can definitely control is how we live in our body. It's moving and it's breathing really consciously. So we'll begin today on our back. So you'll lay on your back with your feet wide and the knees rest against each other. Just settling in, making any shifts to get more comfortable. Up to you. You can close the eyes, or you can simply have your eyes half masked, softening your eyelids. Once you land, feel the ground under you. Feel the parts of the body that make contact with the ground as we center here. Softening around the eyes and the muscles of the face, notice the back of the head making contact with the floor, the ground. Notice upper back, upper arms, hips, feet. Now bring your attention to your nostrils, watching the breath as it comes in and out of the nostrils. Even though we're, breathing all the time, we may not really notice our breath. It's a really beautiful tool to help regulate our nervous system. When we feel anxious, sometimes we hyperventilate and breathe really quickly, and that creates some kind of response in the body. And conversely, today we'll be breathing more slowly and simply, calming the body. So specifically now, start to breathe into your belly, allowing the belly to rise and fill like a balloon and deflate. If this is new to you, a lot of us tend to breathe into our chest. Just bring your hands on your belly and feel the belly rise and fall. Having that tactile cue can help. Softening face again. Steadily breathing into the belly. Receiving your breath, watching it as it happens. And now with your hands on the belly or not, we're going to layer on some counting or some square breathing, which is a really beautiful tool to use on or off the mat. So we'll inhale for 4, hold 4, exhale 4, and hold 4 again, and I'll lead you through it. So continuing that belly breathing, inhale 4, 3, 2, 1, hold 4, 3, 2, 1, out 4, 3, 2, 1, hold 4, 3, 2, 1, in 4, 3, 2, 1, hold 4, 3, 2, 1, out 4, 3, 2, 1, hold 4, 3, 2, 1, in 4, hold 4, Out 4. Hold 4. In 4. Hold. Out 4. Hold. And continue a few more times at your own pace. So if you'd like, you can exhale even for 4, 5, or 6, experimenting with a longer exhale. Feeling belly expand every time you inhale. Notice the sensation as you hold the breath, eventually savoring every part of the exhale. Being gentle with yourself here, no forcing. Even when we notice any anxious thoughts pop up, see if you can be a little gentle with yourself. A few more rounds. Maybe you can hear the people around me. This kind of practice of yoga and breathing is really just about coming to our center no matter what is going on around us. And after your last round, after that hold, you can inhale again and return back to your natural cadence of breathing. If your hands are on your belly, just relax your arms next to you, palms up. And simply receive this feeling after that breathing practice. Has something shifted? Maybe yes, maybe no. And from here, set your personal intention for your practice today. Maybe it's to feel a little more grounded or at peace. Whatever it is, be clear. Once you have your intention, then bring your feet flat on the floor. Feet are about hip distance apart, so they're a little closer than before. And some of you may be able to even brush the backs of your heels with your fingertips. Arms come beside you, palms down, fingers wide. As you press into the heels, tuck your tailbone. So what that means is your low back is flattened on the ground rather than arching the tailbone where there's a space where usually you can slide a hand or some fingers under the low back. So flatten tailbone, or rather tuck tailbone. And then from there, lift your hips up towards the ceiling, the sky, breathing in. And release your spine, your hips down, breathing out. Inhale, lift your hips. Exhale as you lower, and we'll continue here for a few rounds. Think of this as a part of a moving meditation. So if you'd like, you can stay here, or the next time you inhale, your hips will rise and your arms will reach up towards the sky and on the ground behind you. And as you exhale, the hips lower and arms land back beside you. Inhaling as you press hips up, arms up as an option. And exhale, returning back to the earth. Easy, steady breathing and easy, steady movements. Feeling the beginning, middle, and end of your movement and your breath. Instead of just focusing on arriving there, right? It's about the journey. It's about being present with all of it too. So sometimes when we feel anxious, we might move a little faster, feel a little more frantic or jittery in our body. So today's practice will be a little bit more of a slowing down, a little bit more deliberate movement. The next time that your hips lower down to the ground, pause there. Your arms will come beside you. Palms actively press into the ground. Press backs of arms into the ground and lift your hips, and we'll hold this bridge pose now. So feel the corners of the feet, and one way to do that is to lift just your toes. So you're rooting and pressing into the big toe mounds, pinky toe mounds, heels, and then you may be able to lift your hips up a touch more, keeping tailbone tucked. As you inhale, your ribs expand and lungs fill. As you exhale, press heels into the ground. Inhale, ribs expand. Exhale, feel the legs hug in towards each other as if you were squeezing an imaginary block. One more full breath in. Full breath out. Slowly release hips back down. And hug your knees in nice and close. And start to circle the knees in one direction, feeling that yummy low back massage. In the other direction. And then drop your knees over to the right side, coming into a gentle twist. Try to stack your left knee on top of the right, left arm out to the side. And you can choose which way you want to turn your head. For a deeper stretch of the neck, you'll look left. Feel your navel draw in and drop your knees over to the left. Again, up to you which way you want your head to turn. Trying to stack your right knee on top of the left, even if that means your right shoulder comes off the ground. I know mine does. From here, roll over to your left side in a fetal position and gently press up. Come onto all fours. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. And check out your hands. The fingers are spread nice and wide. Press palms into ground, round the spine, look towards the knees. Inhale as you tuck toes, drop belly, lift the chest, gaze forward. Exhale, point toes, round the spine. And again, inhaling. And exhaling. Come back to a neutral spine and tuck the toes. Tail tucks just slightly and lift the knees off the ground an inch. Gaze is down at the ground. Actively feel the 4 points press into the ground. Right hand, right foot, and left foot. For more, draw elbows towards the knees, hugging elbows in towards the midline. Might start to feel your arms fire up, I know I do. And then hips up and back, downward facing dog. Maybe walking hands forward for a little more space. And then your head hangs heavy, shaking it out a little. Getting out of the head into the body. Gaze at your feet. Feet are hip distance apart. Pedal out feet, bending one knee at a time. Right knee, left knee. Again, move slowly enough that you can really feel into right leg and left leg. Instead of just automatically doing it. Does one side feel a little tighter or more tender? Release the heels down towards the ground as you walk your hands back towards your feet, watching this transition. Once you land, clasp opposite elbows. Swaying a little side to side. One full breath. The arms release and roll up. Sweep arms up as you breathe in. Palms together, breathe out. Inhale, arms sweep up, fingers nice and wide. Exhale, dive down, knees soft at first. Inhale, look forward, so your hands can either be on the ground or on your shins as you slide your shoulders back, lengthening out of the waist. Release the hands down. Walk the hands out, plank pose, watching this transition. Shoulders just over wrists. You can always drop your knees if you need some support. Moving this forward and back slightly, feeling into wrists. Downward facing dog. Shaking out the head a bit. Lift and lower the heels a few times, again feeling into legs. Experiment with bending the knees slightly, giving you a little bit more lift in the tailbone, the hip, sitting bones. And then walk the feet all the way up towards your hands. Once you arrive, fingertips forward slightly, roll shoulders back, gazing forward, and experiment now with shifting the weight a little bit more into the toes and a little bit back into heels, just going forward and back a few times. So when we gaze forward, when we shift forward, we're really looking forward into the future. When we're shifting back, we're going back into our past. So see if you can find some sort of middle point now in the midfoot, your center, your present. What's going on right now? Keeping knees soft and trying to maintain this sort of center point. Walk your fingertips slightly to the right, reaching through your left hand, left fingers, peeling the left hip back. Walking hands over to the left, sending right hip back slightly. Back through center, head hangs as you roll on up. Reach your arms up, breathe in. Palms together, breathe out. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, dive down. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, release. Right leg back. Feel the legs hug in towards each other. High lunge, arms up. Soften your shoulders down the back and feel the pinky spiral in towards the midline. Feeling the strength in the legs as they scissor in towards each other. Once you feel stable in the legs, straighten the front leg on your inhale. Bend both knees, palms together, exhale. Inhale to straighten. Exhale to bend and pause here. Right knee is hovering off the mat, the ground, steady gaze. Maybe feeling a little bit of wobbling, unless it's just me because the ground is uneven because I'm outside. And if you need some support, you can always bring your hands on the ground, but otherwise right knee gently comes down to the floor. Point the right toes now. Legs again hugging towards each other, arms out as if you're welcoming something, palms face forward and roll the shoulders back. As you exhale, wrap the arms around you, hugging into yourself. Inhale, arms open, reaching chest forward. Exhale, switch arms. Hopefully you remember which was on top. Inhale as you open. And exhale. One more time, breathing in, maybe shifting hips forward a touch. And exhale. Inhale, arms sweep out and up towards the sky, gazing up. Exhale, hands down, downward facing dog. Taking a breath in through the nose. HA out the mouth. And from here, you may need to shorten your stance a little bit, but try to bring your right hand towards your left ankle. You can't quite reach it, then even that reach, an active reaching, is really important. Switching sides, left hand towards right ankle, peeking under the right shoulder. Left hand down. And one handprint at a time, walk the hands all the way back towards the feet. Forward hang. And now, fingertips forward and sit your hips down. Thighs are parallel or pretty close to it, to the ground. Feel the weight shift into the heels slightly so you can actually wiggle the toes off the ground. And then float the hands forward alongside the ears. Chin tucks as you gaze down at the floor. From here, peel belly off of thighs, lifting chest, chair pose. One full breath. Fold over your legs. Walk out to plank. One handprint at a time. Again, notice the urge to rush. Shift forward slightly, elbows in nice and close, lower to the belly. You can always drop your knees. Point the toes, back bend of choice, rolling shoulders open, either staying nice and low for baby cobra, coming up for a higher cobra, or even an up dog. Down dog. Lift the right leg up towards the sky and open your right hip. The knee bends. And notice if your shoulders are sliding up towards your ears. See if you can slide them down away from ears. Navel in, lightly step right foot between your hands. High lunge. Find your footing, your foundation. If you can, you're high on the ball of the back foot. If that's too much, drop your heel down for now. Once you do feel stable, straighten on the inhale, bend both knees, exhale. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale. Exhale, pause at the bottom of the movement. Again, maybe feeling a little trembling, maybe not. Lower left knee to the ground, point left toes. Arms out, soften shoulders. As you exhale, right arm on top of left, rounding the back. Inhale, press hips forward, open the heart, the chest. Exhale, left arm on top. Inhale, this is just our moving meditation once again. Exhale, right arm on top. One more. Bringing a tenderness to this last hug. Inhale, arms up towards the sky. Exhale, hands down. Step left foot forward and fold. Sink hips down. Again, thighs might be parallel or close to it, to the ground. Gazing forward, and now start to shift the weight into the toes, lifting your heels. Stay here or palms together, pressing the backs of the arms into the front of your knees, your shins, gazes towards your fingertips. Steady breathing. So here we're balancing, so we must be somewhere in our center point. As we balance, we must be present to all of the wobbling, otherwise we lose our balance. Release the heels, chair pose. Straighten the legs, rise on up, breathe in. Release your arms, breathe out. A few shoulder rolls up towards ears, back and down. Soften shoulders. Sweep arms up, breathe in. Dive on down, breathe out. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, release. Left leg back. We'll keep it nice and simple, back to that high lunge. Soften shoulders. Once again, feel your legs. What does this feel like a second time around? Straighten front leg, inhale. Bend both knees, exhale. Breathing in, reaching up. Breathing out, draw it into midline. Breathing in. Breathing out, pause. Notice if you're leaning forward into future, leaning back. See if you can stack your shoulders over your hips, which I hope I'm doing. Feels like I am, but who knows? Slowly release left knee to ground. Point left toes. Interlace the fingers behind the back, squeezing shoulder blades, lifting the chest. Stay here or hinge towards the inside of the right thigh. Crown of the head towards the ground. For me today, I actually think I want to slide my right foot over to the right a little more so I have more space. So see if that would feel better for you. Taking an inhale, feeling ribs expand. Taking an exhale. Rise on up, hands down to the ground. Tuck your left toes under, lift left knee off the ground. Your left hand is just under your left shoulder as you reach your right arm up, twist. Feel the right knee hug in towards the midline, even if it's a little wider. Gaze up towards the right thumb, soften both shoulders. What's going on with that back leg? Is it drooping or sagging? Then right hand will come down and pivot to the left. So now all 10 toes point towards the long edge of your yoga mat. Be sure that the toes are in the same line here. Reaching your chest forward as you breathe in, and now fold as you breathe out. Choosing how you want to make contact with your hands. So you can hook onto your big toes if that's available, ankles, shins. Find a little length through your spine on the inhalation, and then fold on your exhalation, sliding shoulders away from ears. And I invite you to close your eyes if that feels safe, comfortable. Closing the eyes can open up our senses to other things that are present other than our sense of sight or what we see. One last breath. Hands come beneath your shoulders. Pivot to face the front of your yoga mat again. So you're pivoting to the right, hands just framing that right foot. Length. Hinge forward, and vinyasa of your choice. If you have your own variation, go for it. Otherwise, follow me as you lower to your belly. Pointing the toes, rolling shoulders open, back bend of choice coming high or low. Let's take a child's pose. Knees wide, making space for your torso, your belly, allowing forehead to rest on the mat, on the ground, eyes closed. Imagine you can let any anxious thoughts pour into the ground, back to the earth. Breathing in peace or whichever intention you set earlier, if you set one. And if that sort of stuff doesn't resonate with you, just notice your inhale, I am breathing in. Notice your exhale, I am breathing out. One more. Down dog. Feeling down dog. Walk hands all the way back towards the feet. Sit hips low. Chair pose. Oh my God, this makes me so happy. Hi! Palms together. So you can stay here for your balancing pose today. Or cross your right leg over your left. You can wrap 1 time, 2 times, squeezing thighs. You're adding on right arm under left, eagle. Find your focal point with your eyes. Option for flying eagle, elbows to knees. Feeling the center, the midline, elbows hugging in, knees hugging in. Rising up. Release into your mountain. Close your eyes, notice and integrate the experience from that pose. Feeling breath, heartbeat, sensations. Eyes open as the arms sweep up on the inhalation, dive down on the exhalation. Look forward on the inhalation, fold on the exhalation. Walk the hands out to downward facing dog. Feeling the hands place shoulder width, resting the head. When we crane our head forward, again, it's usually like we're looking forward. What's next? So we can just be here now, relaxing head. Left leg up towards the sky, open the hip. Bend the knee, drop left shoulder. Left foot between the hands. High lunge. Settling in. So you draw the left hip back, straighten the front leg on the inhalation, bend both knees on the exhalation. Breathing in, maybe gazing up slightly. Breathing out. One more inhale. One more exhale, pausing at the bottom of the movement, pressing hands firmly into each other as you relax your shoulders. Release right knee to the ground, point right toes. If you widened your lunge a little bit on the other side, you can do that now, just walking left foot out to the left. Interlace fingers behind your back in the opposite direction, so your other pinkies on the outside. Squeeze shoulder blades together and down. Lift your chest on the inhale. Hinge towards the inside of the left thigh on the exhale. Humble, what I'll call mini warrior. Keep the left knee in towards shoulder. Maybe noticing a new perspective here. Rise on up. And the right palm comes down. Tuck your right toes under. Right knee off the ground. Twist left arm up. Gazing towards that top thumb. Left hand down and pivot to the right. All 10 toes point towards the long edge of your mat. Like maybe adjusting your feet. I realized my toes were not in the same line. And then you'll find a little length through your spine on your inhalation and fold on the exhalation. And this time, walk your fingertips back in the same line as the toes. Or if it's available, a little further back.
feeling again points of contact with the ground, feet, hands, maybe head, but it doesn't have to be. Another breath. Hands come back beneath your shoulders. Pivot to face the front of your yoga mat. Step the right foot forward and fold. Sweep the arms up overhead, breathe in. Palms together, breathe out. Sit your hips back as if you're sitting in that chair again. Hang out right here, or left leg over right. Left arm under right. Option for flying eagle. Really hugging it in. Steady and even breaths. Rise on up mountain, relaxing your arms. Palms forward for now in a more receptive posture. Feeling the breath. Eyes open, sweep arms up, breathe in. Dive down, breathe out. Look forward, breathe in. Release, breathe out. This time you can choose to step or hop back to a plank. Go through your vinyasa of choice. Knees, chest, chin, chaturanga, up dog, cobra. You can also go down to the bellies we've been doing, lifting chest, child's pose. Forehead to ground, feeling the support under you as you close the eyes, sensing once again into senses other than sight. For me, because I'm outside, I feel the wind on my skin. For you, just notice what the temperature is on the bare parts of your skin. Notice the texture of the mat on the forehead, under the palms. And then slowly roll up. And come to sit. From here, extend your right leg out to the side and the left foot to the inner thigh. Your right toes point up towards the sky as the right forearm releases down to the inner shin. If it doesn't quite reach, you can stack a block or some books or a pillow under this forearm to help prop it up. Left hand on your hip for a moment as you roll the left shoulder head back. So as if there was a wall behind you, you're leaning that shoulder on the wall. Reach the left arm up towards the sky and alongside your ear as if you're trying to reach those right toes. Relax your head. As the head relaxes, be conscious of this right foot. It stays flexed, which means there's a 90-degree angle or pretty close to it in the ankle. Keep head and neck relaxed now and reach the left arm up towards the sky and out to the side. Rolling left shoulder head back, neck release in a side bend. So as you inhale, feel the ribs expand. As you exhale, drop the chin, look down towards the right forearm. Inhale, ribs expand. Exhale, relax head. Breathing in into the ribs, breathing out, reach through your left fingertips. And keep head and neck relaxed. To release this pose, your left fingertips tap down to the ground first and pause. Your head is still hanging there. Bring your right hand to the side of your face and feel the whole weight of your head in your hand. Press hand into head and slowly Pick the head up, stacking it back over your spine, and release. I love that one. Okay, let's go to the other side. So left leg out, right foot in, left toes point up, and keep that foot active as you bring the left forearm down. Relaxing your head as you roll the right shoulder head back, and right arm up and over, coming into your side bend. Notice if you're sort of slouching forward, and see if there's a way for you to open up your ribs and your chest slightly as you reach the right hand out to the side and the hand hovers off the ground. Head relaxes, gaze down towards left forearm. I don't know if you could hear that bird, but it sounds really nice. So again, when we work with anxiety, it's something that can help and be one antidote to it, other than therapy and support and community and healthy habits, is just being more present, noticing our surroundings. Right fingertips down, keep the head as it is. Left hand to the cheek. Feel the weight of your heavy head and use the hand to press the head back up and release. From here, let's set up double pigeon. So some of you may just cross your legs, and this will be your variation. For others, you will grab a hold of your right shin, grabbing onto the knee and the foot, rocking this around a little. And then try tapping ankle onto knee. Eventually resting ankle on knee and knee on ankle. So you may need to wiggle the bottom foot forward, feet flex. It's also called fire log pose, so you can imagine stacking two logs on top of each other. So this is a more full variation. If you're somewhere in between, you can also extend the bottom leg and experiment here. Notice how that feels for you. So wherever you are, sit up a little taller and assess. This might be right where you stay, that's okay. Or keep the chest forward as you hinge forward. Again, being easy and gentle with yourself, no forcing. You might rest your hands on your shin or to the ground. And for a lot of us, our jaw can get really tight when we do any kind of hip opener. If that's the case for you, see if you can relax your jaw a little bit. As you relax the jaw, now just focus on your inhales. Focus on your exhales. Rise on up. Your hands propped behind you, feet nice and wide, and just windshield wiper your knees. Just going right and left. Try out the other side, bringing your left shin in towards you, rocking this around. If you crossed your legs, just switch the crossing of your legs. Tapping the ankle, checking out the side, finding your variation, maybe stacking joints, sitting up. And one side might feel totally different than the other side. Try to maintain a long spine just at first as you hinge at your hips, as if you're trying to fold a piece of paper in half. Easy, steady breathing. Relaxing the jaw again. Walk your hands in, come on up. Hands behind you, feet nice and wide. Windshield wiper the knees. And now come onto your back. Hug your knees in, coming back to the awareness of the ground under you, just as we started. Hug your right knee into the chest, extend the left leg out on the ground. As you hug your right knee in, now bring the right knee across the body to the left side. So you're bringing the right knee towards the ground. It might not make it. Mine doesn't today. And release the right arm down. Again, choosing which way you want to look, to the left, to the right, neutral. Closing eyes. If you feel you need a little self-soothing, I find I usually do when I feel anxious, you can bring your left hand on your hip and simply stroke from your hip all the way down to the knee. I find that really sweet. Another breath. Right knee through center. And simply extend your legs out on the ground. Release your arms. Notice right leg and left leg. Is there a slight difference? And then hug left knee into your chest. And notice, I think mine is doing it now. Notice if your chin is sort of popping up towards the sky. And lift your head, tuck your chin a little. Bring your left knee all the way over to the right. Relaxing your left arm on the ground. Taking a few steady breaths. If you did that stroking on the other side, you can do that here. Right hand on the hip all the way down to the knee. And this movement isn't necessarily to try to jam your knee closer to the earth. Just more of a making contact with yourself. Soften the left shoulder. Left knee back through center. Both knees into the chest happy baby pose. Grab the outer edges of your feet. If you can't reach that, grab a hold of shins or even backs of thighs. I think how we touch ourselves is, really communicates some kind of message. Like think of when you play with your hair or pull your hair back if you have long hair. Or brush your hair. I don't know why I'm focusing on hair, or even like how you wash your face. Is it aggressive and hurried? And then what kind of message does that send to your brain, your body, your nervous system? So how can we be a little bit more tender with ourselves? And just as we begin now, feet nice and wide, knees together, hands on the belly or beside you. Close the eyes. So just scan the body now and ask yourself what you need to complete your yoga practice. So that can look like a few more poses, or it can be doing this entire sequence a second time around. It can be going into relaxation or shavasana. You can play a guided meditation as you do that, or some soothing music. So this is where I will leave you for today. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed creating it for you. And with much love, may you be happy and well. Namaste.